Yes. Welcome once again. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we're already on YouTube and rolling. On Twitter, it's Impact Masters or Africa's Talking HQ. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else that you're in. This is Impact Masters Podcasts in collaboration with Africa's Talking Podcasts, or well known as Retold Podcasts. And today's a beautiful day. Check out Africa's Talking, africastalking.com, powering communication solutions across Africa. We simplified access to telco infrastructure. Developers use our platform, SMS, USSD, voice, airtime, and payments APIs to bring their ideas to life as they build and sustain scalable businesses. Impact Masters changing status quo across Africa and telling authentic African stories from Africa tech movers and shakers. And today we are blessed to have Abel Masila. Abel is a proficient software engineer who has focused on full stack and front-end development with React and JavaScript for 6+ years and kicking. With excellent problem-solving skills and experience enhancing applications performance, implementing data visualization tools, and integrating designs. He's an expert at delivering projects within strict deadlines. Abel also has experience coordinating deployment with AWS, handling databases, and working with React Native, GraphQL, TypeScript, Web 3.0, Node.js, and Redux. Abel, how are you, Abel?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Nice.
Happy to be here with you.
Yeah, so welcome once again, Abel. This is where we tell our stories, and the best way we start is by telling who we are. Not the Abel we know right now, from where it began, and then with the focus of ensuring that you are featuring you as Abel and ensuring that whoever hears about Abel, they can learn one or two things. So please take us all the way back. Abel, where do you come from?
Oh man, my story starts from way back.
Yeah.
Way back means I'm quite old.
Yes.
I come from Kenya, the eastern side of Kenya, a place called Mboni.
Mboni.
In Makueni County.
Yeah.
That's where I come from.
Yeah.
Like any other typical kid, went to primary school. Not fancy, but it did the job.
Yeah.
Did well in my primary exams.
Yeah.
I don't think I had known about computers back then.
Wait a minute. Here we see the way it is, Abel. So you were in primary school in Mboni.
Yes.
What's the name of the primary school?
The primary school is called Mboni Boys.
Mboni Boys. Was it just a boys' school?
Surprisingly, it was mixed.
Mixed school. But why was it called Mboni Boys?
Mboni in Kikamba means a place where you go to maybe worship or something like that. The school was it's still close to a Catholic huge church.
Okay.
So a long time ago, our old folks used to have these huge trees, the Mugumo trees. They would go and make sacrifices there. So the school is it's close to those big trees. That's why it's called Mboni.
Okay.
So basically, the Mboni is a place where you make sacrifices, prayers, and whatnot in the old culture.
Okay.
Now that has not happened. That's how the name Embodies came to be. It's still it's a good primary school if you ask me.
But why boys? If it's a mixed school.
Back then, the concept of only boys and girls schools was not so big. So due to lack of many other schools around, they decided to bring the boys and girls together, the same school. Even there's other school called the Embodies Girls, and it was still mixed.
So you mean there are not so many girls going to school, or?
There was some, not so many compared to boys.
Okay.
Of course, school was paid, but then the government started having free primary education. That's when we started having many girls coming to school, and then the school grow. It's still growing.
Yeah.
They have not separated the concerns to. It's still mixed boys and mixed girls today. For the sake of having many kids come to school, instead of limiting one to be a boys' school and now be a girls' school, they still keep it to date that way.
Yeah. So you did all your primary school at one school, right?
I did transfer twice. Not that I was
there was no criminal case.
No criminal case.
The indisciplined case.
I was not indisciplined. The Embodies school had a history of giving and producing smart kids. So my mom thought that if I go to that school, I would be motivated to learn and maybe perform better.
So in which class did you join Embodies?
Class 6.
Class 6. Where were you previously?
I was in a neighboring school called Mutitu Primary School.
This is Mutitu one day?
No.
Okay.
It's just
another Mutitu?
Yes.
In Embodies. Okay, Embodies is not close to Mutitu.
Yeah, it's quite far. Not that Mutitu was not performing well, but compared with Embodies, you can see that the figures were quite different.
Okay.
And the number of kids going to high school from with Embodies were quite many compared to Mutitu. So, of course, associating with smart kids who are motivated to learn, my mom thought that I would also the bug would bite me and I learn a little bit more, stop laying around and get the marks. But that time, our family was going through a turbulent time. My mom got divorced. So being the firstborn, I was taking care of many other things apart from going to school. Make sure that my sister goes to school well. If there's food, I make sure that my sisters get the food first before I get it. If we have clothing, they should.
And you're still in primary,
or? Yes, still in primary.
And you could, play the figure.
I could cook for them. I could cook for them when my mom was out hustling. Basically, being the bigger brother.
You are the firstborn?
Yes, I'm the firstborn.
Okay.
The family of 3.
What did you learn from that experience?
This thing I still carry today. Being a responsible person comes with lots of sacrifices. And you should not be expecting to be paid back. I don't look at the things which I've done for my family or my sisters as any form of, or expecting any form of payment or anything from them. I'm doing this wholeheartedly, giving all my heart to it. This is family for me. I'm the firstborn. I have to take care of things. And me just being now the man in the house, and with my mom and these little girls, just step up a little bit. You'd be surprised. I used to go to school with my mom's shoes, feminine shoes. So what I did?
No, I'm not surprised. I have my story. Well, not my mom's shoes, but ladies' shoes.
So my mom could not really afford me some nice fancy shoes. So she would give me some of her shoes, and I would wear them. When I go to school, because the boys were laughing at me, I would hide them across the fence and walk to school with no shoes. Up to class 8.
Wow. And this is now the Embodies Primary School.
It's a school now.
So that's interesting. I didn't know this about you, Abel, and I've known you for a couple of years. Something else about primary school. Were you always a performer, or at some point you felt like I need to perform?
So between class 6 and class 7, as I told you, we had family issues going on. That did take a toll on me in terms of dedicating time to learn. Even prep work, I would say I missed a lot of that. I've always been a performer, but during that time, it did not show well. Even the marks which I got after the end of primary evaluation was not...
That is KCP.
The KCP. the marks which I got, I think I could have done better. Ignoring the part that we had some issues for a year or so.
Yeah.
But it still surfaced. I still got a chance to join a good high school.
So, if you don't mind me asking, now that you are grown up man, now you have your own family and whatnot, how do you, now that you understand everything that went on in terms of divorce and everything, how do you think that affects a kid at that stage?
It has got negative impact, especially emotionally.
Yeah.
The kid, you not be at 100%. Your energy will go down. Your morale to do things will always go down.
Self-esteem,
and also the fact that there are kids who know that your family is going through this stuff. There may be some stigma.
They look down
on you. Yeah. It really affects one a lot.
Yeah.
And there's no two ways about it. There's no straight guide on how you can navigate that. You just have to live through it. But now, being a parent right now, if that happened to me, I'll know what to do to my kids. Bring them closer, give them emotional support.
So that it doesn't affect them.
Yeah. Give them hope.
The chief, okay, your dad, just cut ties and that's it. Do you want anything to do with you guys?
Yeah.
That must be traumatizing.
The story is long. It's not one of the stories you would want to hear.
No. Please, if you don't want to tell it, you're not ready. There's no problem.
Yeah, but that man is just that man.
Okay.
Not so many good things to say.
Okay.
It affected us a lot.
So you have never met him afterwards?
No. I know him. I have met him. He's quite old, dealing with old age.
Yeah.
But that time really brought, did bring the best out of me. I realized that I am on my own at most of the time, and I have people looking up upon me, and I cannot afford to mess up.
Yeah.
Even when I went back to class 8, reading for the exam, it was very clear I'm not even ready for myself now.
Yeah.
I have a mom here who is hustling, trying to get some money for us, trying to get some school fees.
Yeah.
The best I can do is just give her hope.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been ever since. Just giving my family hope.
Yeah.
And being the bigger man, be the man of the house.
Yes. So now you have more responsibility on your table. You do KCPE, and you performed. Were you like top 10 in the country, top 1, top 5,
I got 312.
312 marks,
Out of, I think, 500.
Yeah, it was out of 500. Yeah.
Compared to what other kids got, that was not the best.
So you could have easily scored 420,
I
410.
could have easily got a 390 or 400.
Okay.
But circumstances.
Times, put you in that place.
But I don't regret any of that because I got some nice offers for schools around the larger company. One was just close with Emboni. I did not like it. It was still a mixed secondary school with day and boarding. I did not like that aspect because that means I would be going home every day. It was not as expensive as other schools which I got. I was lucky to be called to attend the introduction meetings for a school called Masi High School.
I know Masi.
It's in Masi town. And back then the school was not known for good things. So there was some resistance from people who are willing to pay my school fees, like some of my relatives. They thought that if I go into that school, I'll end up not being a good kid. But my mom had this conviction that if this is what the government is offering, we don't have many choices like we would want to. And she believed that I can still go out there and do good things and perform better and be a different kid, even though we have kids who are not doing well, got into drugs and whatnot. She had the conviction that I could go there and be a different kind of person. And that's it. That's how I go to Masi High School.
So you went to Masi High School for the Form 1 to Form 4?
Yes.
So how was that experience in Form 1? You had new shoes, new uniform.
Man. was fine. I got to a phase for the first time, man.
Yeah.
I have my own shoes with kiwi.
Yeah.
I have my own box with some
some
blueberry,
shopping there.
Some shopping in there.
Yeah.
Felt very, very well. My relatives came in for us. They pulled money for us.
Yeah.
There was some harambis here and there.
Okay.
I was taken to school.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say it was a good experience.
Yeah. So your mom was really happy that you were able to perform with all this responsibility.
Yes.
Did she encourage you to really show up for the family and yourself?
So when I go to high school, I was a joker the first time. I won't like.
You got comfortable.
I got comfortable. I started doing what other boys are doing in school. Just playing around, sleeping during prep time.
Yeah.
Not really doing the most.
Yeah.
So what happens after first term is you go home and then you come back and do an exam. So once you do that exam, your parents will be called to see how the form ones are doing now.
Yes.
After first term in school,
Yeah.
this is the second term and they have done an exam.
Yeah.
Out of 264 kids,
Yeah.
I was number 250.
What?
Yes, that's how bad it was.
How did you take those news? That is first up.
First term. So I had not seen the results first. The parents would walk into the gate, then be given the Form 1 list, look for your kid there, then go and talk to the kid.
So you guys used to be picked by your parents from school, or?
No, they would come to the gate. It's a boarding school. So when they're visiting, they come to the gate. At the gate, there are some desks there with the list of the kids who have done the exams.
You guys used to do clinic days, or?
Yeah. That is a clinic day now.
Yeah.
So when my mom walked to the gate, got the paper, looked at the top, I'm not there. Perused.
250 kids is a lot of.
Yeah. So I was at around 250 out of 264. She was not happy. Now she had come to visit me with good food. She had come with my uncle, well dressed, nice chapos and beef.
Yeah.
They come to see their kid who is high school.
Yeah.
That is something for which parents love doing.
Yes.
So I saw them walking, they were not quite happy.
Yeah. So did you get to eat the food, or?
This story should be waiting. Should be waiting for.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So they caught up with me. We went and sat down at the field. Actually went straight to talk to the class teacher. The class teacher said that, this kid has got potential, blah, blah, blah. I was doing quite bad, really. So they gave recommendations of things I could do, books they could buy for me.
Yeah.
And so it's now their time to talk to me. So we walked out of the staff room, went to the field, they unpacked the food, and now this is my point of change in life. So my uncle was not quite happy. He did tell me things.
Yeah.
And my mom did tell me things. And they were not good things. They are speaking from a point of bitterness and seeing how the hope they had in me is constantly declining, and they can see no hope at this point.
Yeah.
So I did not even get a chance to eat this food. The words which came out of their mouth, that is what changed me.
So you're like, I'm squandering an opportunity around this place.
Like, they did speak sense to me.
Yeah.
I carried the food, gave it to my friends, went to study.
Ah.
And that was the last time my mom ever visited me to school with food. That is how I fumbled that thing.
Like, to make a point.
Yes, she came to school with water and money for pocket.
That's it.
And she made clear that. So I went back to study.
And when your mom in African culture doesn't feed you, that says a lot.
Man, like you see other kids having nice food there.
Yeah.
Just chilling, talking to her. No food for you.
It's not a good thing. Yeah.
It's like you also a kid. So
True.
You feel bad about it. But so I went back to class, started studying. We did the midterm exam. I had moved up.
But what was the strategy? Like, what did you decide to do?
What I did, as I told you, I was a joker. I would sleep through. I would actually wake up at 5 a.m. to go to sleep in class.
Until?
Porridge time, 6:30. When kids have woken up to go and study, I would wake up and go to sleep in class. I have a chance to sleep in
bed.
In bed, but I want to go sleep. That's how bad it was. So I changed that.
Yeah.
I woke up earlier 4:30 and started reading like crazy, catching up with things which I had not known, writing notes which I had not even written. taking some exams from the library and trying to challenge myself.
Yeah.
And just learning. Little play. I'm not into sports, so during the games time, I'll basically be washing my clothes.
Yeah.
Then planning on how I'm gonna do the evening preps. I befriend most of my teachers, especially the ones which I had interest in the subjects. Chemistry was one, mathematics was the other, physics was the other.
Yeah. Because that's why you flopped a bit.
Yeah. I think I got mathematics. I think I had clean 38.
In first term.
Yes, 38 out of 100, bro. That's really bad.
Well, comparatively, I've seen people get 0 something. So but still, it's bad. It's
really bad.
Good, yeah.
So that was my strategy. Get the resources, study time, write notes.
Yeah.
There's power of this. I usually tell people there's power in writing notes, and I think that I got that.
So you started taking notes on things that were not familiar. Consulted the teacher on those things.
I was very serious about that.
Then you started now expanding your knowledge.
Yes.
So by term 2?
Midterm exam.
Moved
up to number 23.
That is a second term midterm. Okay.
Moved up to number 23.
Okay.
Went home. Happy. My mom was not happy.
You can do better than this. You're not cooking for your siblings.
Now
you're not fetching anything for your siblings. You just need to study.
She even told me, don't do anything. Just read. You have no responsibility in this house. Eat and read.
Yes.
That's it. Midterm is usually like 1 week. So I spend most of the time reading and doing just my exams and whatnot.
And
revising and whatnot.
Yeah.
Came back to school. End of term exam.
Yeah.
Bro, number 3. Went home.
Yeah.
She's not happy.
You can do more.
She even enrolled me to a tuition program for the whole of the month, which we'd gone home to rest.
Yeah.
That's how serious it was.
Yeah.
She paid money. She looked for money and paid those teachers.
Yeah.
And then I developed a huge interest in mathematics and physics and chemistry.
And why?
I found them to be interesting. I'd not like reading notes on history, reading agriculture.
A bit boring, yeah?
They're not fun. They're not fun. I would say they were not fun for me.
Yeah.
I was not cut like that. I wanted to do challenging stuff. I really wanted to go to the computer lab most of the time. I was not taking computer studies though.
When was the first time you interacted with the computer? Is it in high school?
In high school.
Form 1?
In Form 2.
So they had a computer lab?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not actually taking computer studies. I was taking agriculture.
In computer?
In high school.
Okay.
I did not take computer studies. But now the story is quite long about how we got there.
Yeah.
So I loved mathematics a lot, and I even became friends with senior mathematics teachers in the school.
Okay.
So fast forward, I managed to keep on number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
So fast forward to Form 2. Form 2 is usually a deciding point for most of people.
Yeah.
You get to choose subjects which you want to
selective subjects.
Select the subjects. Back then, biology was not mandatory for our school, so you could choose
2 sciences.
2 sciences. So I picked physics, of course, chemistry. There was a big problem though at that time of selection.
Yeah.
I was a very good student in almost of the subject. It was not easy for me to decide what I want.
Okay.
I could easily pick up geography and still perform. I had already figured out agriculture. I was actually the best agriculture student. But then I was also equally good at biology. So it was not so easy for me to decide.
Yeah.
And then the teachers who are teaching me this stuff, they are my friends.
So you don't want to disappoint any of those teachers.
And the teacher teaching biology, the teacher teaching agriculture, they would want to have me in their class.
Yeah.
So the decision was made.
Yeah.
I picked up physics.
Yeah.
And dropped agriculture and geography and biology. I dropped them. So that's how I started developing lots of interest in tech and stuff. But there's a story in Form 2 which happened. For the first time, our school had a chance to organize a mathematics contest.
Yeah.
Yes, I did top that up. The whole area. So started developing interest in this thing. Fast forward to Form 3.
So at this point, no girlfriend, nothing.
Man, I was a boring person.
Okay.
I'm reading a lot. They used to call us bookworms. I was not fun. I did not know how to dance. I still don't know how to dance.
So you mean the guys who got girlfriends in school, They are good dancers.
Of course, dancing was a big thing
For
back then.
funky.
For funkies. I would go to funkies and just chill. My type of funky was be the math contest, the science contest, things like those. Not the ones which they go for debating, the journalism club and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's a bit of my high school which I've missed. When I was in Form 1, I was not a prefect. When I was in Form 2, I was a routine prefect, a bell ringer.
Okay.
So I was always on tours with the time.
Okay.
That helped me a lot.
Okay. Were you appointed to this? Did you run for office? How was it?
People elect you for these things in high school.
There you had elective positions?
Yes. Like people would vote for you and then you get it.
Did you have to campaign?
Yeah, campaigns were there, but I did not do it a lot because I was performing well. I told you I taught mathematics for the region.
Yeah.
It was so easy for them.
That is in Form 2?
Yes. It was so easy for them to know we have somebody who's into books. Maybe they will keep time for us.
Okay.
Let's give it to him. But when you go to Form 3, things started happening for me. People started seeing me differently. They started seeing a bigger person in me.
That is your colleagues in class, the classmate or
even
teachers?
The teachers.
Okay.
In term 2, I started having chest problems and I had to sleep through preps. And this story is quite interesting.
But in Bomni, it's a bit warm.
Oh, no, it was cold season. Time 2, time 2 is
July, like right now.
Like right now. Started developing some chest problems, so I had to sleep through preps.
Yeah.
Some idiots who had been fired, they decided to ban the dorms. I'm sleeping in one of the dorms. Actually, at the edge.
You're in this dorm?
Yes, I'm in this dorm. So
You're not feeling well?
I'm not feeling well. So I'm still hearing something flowing through my ear. Smelling it's petrol.
They had poured petrol on you?
Yes, so they are pouring. They're outside the dorm. They are pouring through the windows to the mattresses and then walking. So the dorm which I was sleeping at, there were 2 dormitories. So I was sleeping at one of them at the edge. So the way the dorms are built is you have one door which you only open from outside.
Yeah.
And then we have another door at the end which can open from inside. So if I want to go out, I have to walk through the dorm, then go and open and move out. I can't just move out through this door. It's already locked.
Yeah.
So these guys started pouring petrol. It's their last dormitory.
Yeah.
So after this, they will touch building. So I woke up, still in boxers. I'm still sleeping. So no shoes,
not feeling well.
Not here. Yeah. So just a shirt, boxers, and no shoes. So I started running. Then they just touched the door from my bed.
From the side that you're sleeping, or from the side you're supposed to go out?
The bed where I'm sleeping. Yeah. So I have to run through and go and open. And there's fire running through the beds.
Because petrol also lights very quickly, huh?
So I
Did they know there's someone inside, or they assume there's no one?
They assume there's nobody. Yeah. So I ran out, opened the door, went screaming to the field. The kids heard somebody screaming. They came back. They put out the fire. The only 2 dormitories got burned instead of many other. It would have been many.
So they wanted to clear all the dormitories?
Yeah. So I did save the whole school from an inferno.